Welcome back. Hope you're having a good morning. Well, it'll be a good one for the bulls, actually. For starters, at least, the US Qs were positive overnight. You had the yields that cooled off overnight, and you had the dollar index that's softer. That explains why the SGX Nifty or the GIFT Nifty is suggesting that we're likely to start off with a green of around 70 to 80 points. But to help us out with a lot of analysis of a whole host of stocks, well, Prakash Diwan joins us on the show. Hi, Prakash. Good morning. Prakash, let's talk about the top stock. I think it'll be in focus today, Zomato. Supply overhang is there, but it appears there's plenty of interest as well. How do you view the stock at around this 94 rupee odd mark?
Good morning, Nigel. So, finally it seems like Zomato has cracked the code. All this while the challenge was to kind of make it into a profitable business, or at least visibly profitable enough. And whatever they've done in terms of changing, tweaking the unit economics by adding up that 2% platform fee and all, 2 rupees platform fee per transaction, that's kind of, helping out in terms of making sure that it does what the market would expect any big business like this. But but this whole optimism on Blinkit potentially becoming a far bigger play than what Zomato's core food delivery business is a little bit too soon to call, and to kind of play the victory song. It's going to be a while before all these dynamics kind of start settling in. What's interesting is that at this level, while you have large market investors exiting, you also have the interest from somebody else to buy off the block, which means there's a new set of expectations that's building up going forward. Which means the stock would probably start doing slightly better than what we've seen it demonstrate in the last 12 months. But I would give it a little bit of a pause. I'm not too excited about these changes happening overnight. They might take some time, and you will get enough time to kind of buy into these names once the path to profitability is far more sharply defined. I mean, there are far better turnarounds. For example, Paytm, which was the biggest laggard of all these new age companies, that's turned around so distinctly that you would rather put money there more decisively than Zomato at this point.
HSBC is very bullish on Blinkit, right? I mean, they're saying that the current valuations of Blinkit are $5 billion and they're expecting them to report positive margins, almost 3-4% margins in the next 3 to 4 years. So I take your point that there is a lot of euphoria on some of these companies like Blinkit, but the stock has also run up substantially. Well, let's do one thing. Let's take another story on board. So we'll come back to you, Prakash, for your thoughts on this.
Prakash is with us. Prakash, you heard Sapna run us through that story. Your thoughts?
So there's no reason why the OMCs will not take a hit. You could look at it either ways, Prashant. If everyone out of the 31 crore users were to avail of the one cylinder at least, that's what Sapna kept on repeatedly pointing out, that at one cylinder also the math works out to at 200 rupees is where the math works out to 6,000 crores. Now, that is a hit cumulatively which all OMCs will have to take. Right? I mean, they had a margin or a comfort in terms of, international prices being soft, but that takes away, the profitability or revenue potential of 200 crores. So, 200 rupees per cylinder. So, that's definitely going to impact the larger ones like HPCL and BPCL, which are far bigger in terms of the network of LPG users, are the ones that will probably take a hit. International prices have been soft. We've seen the impact on some of the industrial users like Gujarat Gas and all, where that whole thing of pass-through of soft prices was seen in the last couple of weeks. And this could continue. But the point here is that it is definitely a shave off from the LPG revenue. And it will at some point in time, if it goes on for a slightly longer period, given volatility in gas prices, it will potentially impact the bottom line as well.
All right. You know what? Just stay on. We'll come back to you in a bit.
Prakash, what do you make of this one? BHAL, multi-year highs. Vivek says it's feeling the momentum. Your view on the stock?
Well, certainly. I think it's kind of made a significant comeback. Almost, you said 90-95% in a year is remarkable for a company that hasn't done much all these years previously. And it actually is a very clear representation of the upbeat capex cycle that we see. We've seen capital goods do so well all across. There was no reason why BHEL would not get its share of glory. But from here, if you look at the valuations, and look at their capability to churn, to actually throw up bigger surprises on the revenue and profitability, they could be a bit of limited this thing. I mean, I would still focus on some of the miners in the PSU stocks rather than the equipment suppliers, given the kind of the strength that we have and the kind of pressure that is going to be there to increase efficiency. So Coal India, NMDC, I mean, these are names which even a smaller MOIL for that matter. So look at that. That's a cycle which is probably going to be much more favorable than some of these PSU cap goods players, because probably the good part is already done where they stand at this point in time, right?
Okay, thanks a lot, Prakash, for joining in.